In life, all things are changing. There's a constant ebb and flow of phenomena arising and passing away, a flux, a continuum of waves and particles subject to the law of impermanence and change. In life, there is stress, there is suffering, and in this state, it arises because we often fail to see this change. We cling to ever-changing objects of mental states and physical matter as if they are permanent, and it leads to stress and sometimes deep suffering. How many in this room have ever had a cold? All of us have had a cold. How many have ever had a flu? All of us have had a flu. But do you all have that same cold or that same flu right now, right here in this moment? It changed. And that is how it is with all things, right? You have a mental state. It is constantly changing. It might have felt like it was lasting forever. It might have felt like it was only getting worse. But again, here you all are. Actually, you're all smiling. Here we are, 8:30 in the morning. We're smiling and we are happy and all is well. And this is how it is with all phenomena. So how do we transform our mistaken belief that things are permanent and deliver ourselves into a state of balance? We recognize what it is that has arisen. We accept it. We do not run from it. And we investigate it. And what are we investigating? It's constant state of change. And we don't need to identify with it. You are not anger, right? You are not stress. We are a whole human being. There's so much more to us than this simple state of mind that we have within our heads. And we learn to understand that, recognize it, accept it, investigate it, and not identify with it. We come to know a state of happiness. We come to know a state of freedom from stress. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian.
You're welcome.
My question to you is a multiple choice hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
You are an RO and it is a few days before homeworks are due. Your help has been requested from 3 individuals, but you only have enough time to help one since you have a big exam on the due date. Do you A, help your fellow RO, B, help your core chapter, C, help your own chapter beyond your expected duties, D, help no one and instead focus on studying extra hard for your tests? Select one and explain why.
Can I think outside the box and say I could select all of them? I've worked hard to get to the point where I'm at, but if I have obligations, I'm going to maintain those obligations. But at the same time, knowing that these due dates and these things are coming up, I am prepared. I make sure that I do what I can to have everything set up and always have a plan B, because sometimes things are going to hit the fan, and when that happens, it's always nice to know that you have backup. You have something else and some sort of alternative to work with that. I would never sacrifice somebody else's things when I made an obligation to them, just say, well, I need to study. I procrastinated, I'm a typical student, I procrastinated. No, I have procrastinated, of course, I'm honest, I have procrastinated. But you gotta take care of the things that you gotta take care of. If you've made a commitment, integrity is top. And you know that your integrity is top, so you set things up to keep yourself into that state and make sure you can get there successfully.
Okay. Okay, so reflecting about our own personal strengths and also ways to more fully become the person we'd like to be is important. What one aspect of your character do you wish you could strengthen, and why is it important to you?
I am prone to making mistakes, and I think I've led a whole life where I wanted to be perfect. I had the perfectionist streak that I think a lot of us have. And when I've made those mistakes, I haven't always been forgiving with myself. I look at others and I see so much beauty and perfection and strength, and I want to hold myself up to what I see other people being. And when I make mistakes, I feel like I've disappointed and hurt them. On the flip side, I can use that as an opportunity to develop wisdom, but there's still that tendency to beat oneself up. And it's okay to forgive ourselves. It's okay, if I can forgive others, I should be able to forgive myself more. And I think that would be an acceptable one.
Can you tell us about a time when you were working as part of a team and things were not going so well within the team? What did you do to turn things around?
They say there's 2 types of leaders. You have a window leader and a mirror leader. The window leader gaps out the window, is constantly looking at other people and finding fault in them and what they did. But the leader of the team is somebody that takes responsibility. The leader of the team is somebody that looks in the mirror and says, what can I do to look better? What can I do to make this right? I try to be a mirror leader. When things don't go right the way they are, I look at what can I do to make it better. It's not necessarily somebody else's fault. If I've taken responsibility for something, you take responsibility and you fix it. And I have found that happens often because people do, all sorts of things. Life happens, and I get that. And I try to relate my own experience that life happens by being a mirror leader and not having harm towards other people, being nice towards other people, being confident, patient, compassionate, and again, just being the mirror leader. If I look at every person, I see myself looking back at me. And if I were to find fault in that other person, it's really just an advertisement of me finding fault in myself.
Thanks, Julian. I have two questions. The first is, given the honors study topic of transformations, if you're elected, what transformation do you want to make on the region during your time as an RO?
I want to see the region transform into something that everybody is a greater part of. We have an awesome group of people that are here with us today, but I feel like we could get larger numbers, right? The thing about PTK is there's this awesome fellowship aspect and meeting people, and you're finding people that have things in common with you, and it's events like this that really drive home the greatness that is PTK, that is the greatness of an honor society, the greatness of having brothers and sisters that you can relate to. And I would like to see the region become stronger by having greater attendance and reaching out more often to do what we can do to build our strength in numbers.
Thank you. We could all clap for that. The second question is, if education and salary didn't matter, what job would you have?
I would be a Buddhist monk. I know. It is peaceful. I love studying the mind. I like developing equanimity. I like doing what I can do to build up myself so that I can build up others. And I have found that in my own past experiences, by taking the wisdom I have attained and using that to grow and to help guide others when they need it most, we're doing the right thing. When your volition is good, you cannot do wrong. And to me, the greatest way for me to develop my own volition is to go and pursue the monastic life. Shave my head, shave my eyebrows, wear a robe, sit in silence nonstop, and smile and enjoy that these things are interesting. Everything is changing, and investigate it and come to know it on a personal level. And use that to strengthen and help carry others to whatever goal it might be that they need to achieve.
Thank you.